Hello there. Welcome to week 3 of Black Girl Mental Academy's course, Empowering You to create your peer-to-peer virtual support group. And so it's week 3. We are really getting into it. Thank you so much to all of those who have signed up. It's been so cool reading some of the things that you all have put in the YouTube comments. And yeah, excited to get these virtual Q&As off the ground so we can really get a chance to meet as a group and just chat a little bit. So every single person who signed up, we have about 10 people who have signed up at this point that I'm recording this, which is incredible because I thought it was going to be like 2, like my friends. So thank you so much for investing your time in learning to do such a worthy thing and learning that from this course. So let us get into it. Actually, just kidding. Let me try this again. Let me try this again. So that's what I want to share. Let me stop this share. Let me reshare again. That's cool. So this is a cool layout. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, so Black Girl Mental Academy, week 3, building community and support systems in your group. So the objectives for this week are going to be first, learn why building a community is essential for your group success. Discover strategies to foster meaningful connections. Understand how to maintain encouragement. And lastly, ensure longevity. So, building community is crucial because it provides emotional support and a sense of belonging. It creates a safe, healing environment for open expression, and it fosters trust, commitment, and accountability. I want to say that group versus community is kind of like the difference between a house and a home, right? A group, like, yes, it's a couple bodies sitting together discussing a topic, or it's a couple faces on a virtual platform. That's a group, right? A house is it's a structure. But when we get to a community, when we get to a home, it's like there's something that's living, breathing, and dynamic and energetic about that. And in order to cultivate that heart, right, of the group, the heart of peer-to-peer support, it's something that takes time, and it definitely takes prioritizing, making sure that people feel safe, and ultimately that people feel safe enough to be themselves. So community is something that enhances your well-being through connection, right? Um, it's really easy for us as Black women because we are very superwoman syndromed out, right? Superwoman syndrome being the role that we all have been conditioned to take as the person that keeps everything together, the person that is saving everyone, the person that is always okay. But unfortunately, a lot of that is a mask. A lot of that isn't necessarily the whole truth. And truly, what we need, right, the antidote to that mask, the antidote to that half truth is connection, is to be able to have someone who says, you know what, I see you. I don't just see this put together mask that you wear, but I see what you really are. I see what you're really about and what you're really going through. And I'm here to uplift you. I'm here to share resources with you, and I'm here to provide empathy. This is something that reduces isolation and also encourages self-care practices, right? So isn't that so interesting? We live in such a capitalistic society where it's all about like self-care, self-care, and so I can make enough money to take care of myself. But that's not really what this is about, and that's not really truly fulfilling, right? This collectivist model of care actually says, no, when I care for you and when someone else cares for me, I get better at taking care of myself because I am able to see and experience someone caring for me very well, maybe in some ways that I haven't necessarily mastered caring for myself. So some strategies for building a strong group community, not just a group, but a community, is to be consistent in meetings, right? Y'all don't gotta meet every single day for 5 hours a day, right? But whenever you do choose to meet, to be consistent in that time. Open communication, right? So now is not the time to be passive aggressive or to say something and maybe hope that the person knows what we mean, or because we're all black women, we all get, well, no, right? Like, we know that people are, maybe even if we share a culture, we don't share the same household, right? People are raised in different ways, in different places, and different things mean different things to different people. So definitely to be open and clear in communication is an important strategy for creating a strong group. To be able to have shared values and goals, right? Absolutely. That I know that the people who choose to be in your group would not want to spend their precious time in your group if they didn't agree with or share in the value and the goal that you set aside for this group. And connection building activities. So, what are some activities that allow me to get to know you and you to get to know me? So, we have our activity prompt, our first activity prompt of this week. So the activity is to reflect on community building with the following questions. When did you last feel a sense of belonging in a group? And how can you foster that same feeling for others in your group? So I want you to pause at this point, take some time just to think about this, to really think about this, um, because both of these questions have to do with feelings, have to do with emotions, and some of the memories that are the strongest are the ones with the strongest emotion, right? Whether they're strong positive emotions or strong negative emotions. So I want you to take some time to, yeah, to really think about a strong positive emotion that you have felt in a group setting. This sense of belonging, right? That's a strong positive emotion. And then lastly, how do you think that you can foster, or you can make space for that same strong, positive feeling of belonging for other people in your group? So consistency in meetings, right? Like I said before, y'all don't gotta meet every single day for 5 hours a day, but regular meetings build trust and reliability. Creating a predictable schedule, that's something that is helpful in making sure that that predictable schedule works for your group. Consistency in meeting times and structure strengthens connection, right? So if you are somebody who's this group facilitator, this group leader, to, yeah, when you say that you're going to meet, when you say that you're going to be available, that you actually are available to meet. um, if like something does happen, to make arrangements for maybe someone else in the group to step up and lead for a session, or you can even get into like a rotating leadership model. I discussed that in a later week, but that's something that definitely takes a lot of time pressure off of you to just be leading all the time. But yes, meeting times and structure and consistency in those two things definitely strengthens connection and builds trust, that folks can trust that this group is the real deal and that they have a reliable and steady, consistent time to meet. So, open communication, right? Fostering group-wide transparency through digital channels, right? So maybe your group is on Zoom, for example, and has a WhatsApp group, right? So making sure that everyone gets the same memo. If next meeting is going to be Crazy Glasses Day, that everybody gets the memo that it's Crazy Glasses Day, not three people get the memo, another person gets half of the memo, but making sure everyone is getting the same communication, ideally at the same time. You want to be able to create a space. Secondly, you want to be able to create a safe space for group members to share their thoughts, to share their concerns, and to share their resources, right? So you want to be able to create space at some point during these sessions for other people to share maybe some strategies or products or something that has worked for them in a certain situation. You want to create space for someone else to be able to say to someone else, "Hey, I've been through a similar situation, and this is what helped me. Maybe it helped you." And of course, if there's a concern, right? If there's a group member, right? This can be a sticky situation or not, depending on your thoughts about conflict and whether you like conflict or how comfortable you feel with it. But absolutely, if there's a group member that has a concern or a challenge or even a healthy critique, um, of course, the goal would be for you as the group leader and the group facilitator to be able to have space for you to receive that critique and to see it for what it is, a critique, not necessarily an attack. And of course, we want to be able to encourage peer to peer support outside of these meetings. So, of course, meeting once a week or once a month or twice a month or however often you decide, it's great. Like, it's great to have that block of time. But the relationships are really the connection that makes a group a healthy, breathing group is something that happens outside of that block as well. So, going back to that example, the WhatsApp group, yeah, to encourage people to like, hey, post funny stuff in there, or like, ask how you guys are doing, to just to keep the conversation going, so that all of the connection building is not packed in just that once a week period. So, when it comes to shared values and goals, it is really important for you to define values such as respect, confidentiality, and authenticity. That's something that ideally you would do during your first session or just at the beginning, because different people can define respect differently. Different people can think that confidentiality means different things, and especially because this is a group setting, right? You definitely want to make sure that people understand that confidentiality cannot be guaranteed. It absolutely is encouraged. It will definitely be encouraged for people in the group, for the things that people share and divulge to stay in the group. But this isn't just a one-on-one thing. There is someone in the group that could break confidentiality. So just to let people know that that's a possibility. And of course, authenticity, defining for everyone else in the group what authenticity means. And you also want to make sure that you, as the group facilitator, do set collective goals not only for personal growth, and also for group success. So, what does it mean for the group to be successful? How will you know that the goal, that your why behind why you wanted to start this specific group, is achieved, or that why has been satisfied? What would that mean for you? What would that look like for you? And personal growth, that's something that you can kind of write in your own journal for yourself, just for you as you undertake this role, or this goal of being a group facilitator, just to be able to be like, okay, if I'm starting this on January 1st, by February, I would like to have grown in the following ways in my leadership. And of course, aligning group activities to whatever these shared principles are. So if a shared principle that you have set and all of the folks in the group agree on is living, um, having motherhood, having an empowered motherhood experience. I mixed a bunch of words there. Having an empowered motherhood experience, then make sure that you come up with group activities that really speak to that. Activities that have to do with um, really hammering down the idea of choice, right? As moms, we all have different choices, even in the most narrow situations. And at least for me, that's what empowerment truly means. It means choice. And it means being able to see choice maybe in ways or spaces where we previously hadn't seen choice there before. Connection building activities, yes. So things to get to know you, things that you can get to know me. So icebreakers, like two truths and a lie, themed check-ins, what's one victory from the week, or highs and lows, roses and thorns, group discussions, or sharing circles. Um, these can really start off like surface level at the beginning, and then as the group gets to know one another more, can kind of gradually go deeper. But definitely the power of a connection building activity, it's very underrated. Yeah, you can really do a lot with a good connection building activity for sure. We have another activity prompt for this week. So, plan your icebreaker or group activity. What icebreaker or activity will you use in your next group session to help people connect? Think about something simple that gets everyone talking and everyone comfortable. So, just to keep in mind, there are like icebreakers and group activities that already exist, but also you can feel free to make your own if the creative bug has bitten you. Something that is applicable to the theme of your group, and something that would make a splash. So, that's a cool thing to encourage you to do. And maintaining a strong community over time, how to maintain engagement and connection. So your groups can be like time bound, right? Or they can be finite, right? So you can, initially with your flyer, the way that you're advertising this group, that's also going to be, I'm gonna mention that more in a later session, but you can definitely say off the jump, hey guys, this is going to be a 6 month group, or hey guys, we're going to meet for 3 weeks once a week, and we are going to talk about these things every week. Um, However, this also could be indefinite, right? So it could just be like, you know what, we're meeting, we're hanging out, and we're just going to see where this goes. And however whatever duration of time you end up choosing, it's important to keep your group engaged with regular check-ins, to celebrate victories, to acknowledge struggles, right? In order to do that, to really make sure that we're like looping everyone in, right? So like the person that's maybe on the quieter end, that's not talking as much, to make sure that they are celebrated and are kind of highlighted just as much as the person who has a lot to say. And also to encourage peer-to-peer support outside of meetings, which I mentioned earlier. To keep the conversation going, whether it is in a Facebook group or WhatsApp group or text chain, but to keep that conversation going for sure. Rituals and traditions in your group. This is pretty fun. So, rituals create consistency and a sense of belonging. Consider celebrating milestones such as anniversaries or celebrating success stories, right? Oftentimes in these group spaces, people will open up about a situation that is developing, a developing situation. There are active things that are changing and in motion in the situation. And so, being able to receive updates from that person if that person is comfortable, and yeah, to be able to celebrate when celebration is needed. That's definitely something that is a beautiful ritual, successful ritual to have in your group. And another example of a group ritual to begin every group session is to start a meeting with like affirmations. We can, do some breath work, take some deep breaths. However it works best for you, right? For that to flow from you, how natural does that feel flowing from you as a facilitator? And also, how much sense does it make in the context of what the group is about or what the topic of the group is? Another activity prompt, group ritual. So, you want to design your group ritual. What ritual can you incorporate to help your group feel more cohesive? Consider something that aligns with your group's values and creates a sense of continuity. So, this is definitely a fun one to think about and to ponder. And so we're coming to the end of our week 3. So the homework assignment, the reflection, and the exploration is going to be to write down one strategy for building community that you'll try in your group, to plan one group activity or icebreaker, and to develop a ritual or tradition to introduce in your group, right? So as this presentation has been going, right, I've asked you to pause and and think about these questions. And so for the homework, or what I want to see in the YouTube comments, is what were your findings? What is the activity or the icebreaker? What is that ritual that you came up with, etc.? And also for you to be able to encourage other people in the comments, right? If you see a comment with a really cool activity or icebreaker, for you to comment on that person's comment, to reply to that person's comment and be like, wow, that's cool, that's really dope. So in this group, right? Because this is a group in and of itself. It's like groupception, right? This is a group all that's all about starting groups. And so we want this group to have a very inclusive environment and supportive and encouraging environment. And that depends on you guys, right? To really sustain that environment. And so absolutely, please hype one another up in the comments on YouTube. And so looking ahead to week four, our topic is facilitating group sessions and creating safe spaces. Specifically, we're going to learn how to manage group dynamics and how to create a welcoming environment for everyone, or for as many people as we can, right? Got my whole setup falling down. Um, but yes, so for as many people as you can, that's hilarious. There we go. So for as many people as you can, group dynamics can get kind of dicey or can get kind of unpredictable sometimes. So next week I'm going to be sharing some strategies to be able to make sense of all that. And thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the end of week 3. So yeah, find me on Instagram. Please email me and please tell your friends. Tell as many people as you can about this course. It's free. Yeah, so we can learn how to make a splash and make that turn into a ripple effect. Because yeah, no one is coming to save us as Black women, right? It is us caring for us. And that's really what this course is about, empowering you to better do that. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in, for paying attention. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I'm excited to look in the YouTube comments to see all of the wonderful things that you all put in there.